Hey, what's up, y'all? It's your boy, Iceman and Bob, Tech and Gaming. I want to go ahead and let you all know up front, I have the camera exposure to favor the Sony A95L behind me. So if I look a little darker or it looks dim, I'm highly aware of that. I did this deliberately to give you all more focus on the TV behind me. I want you all to listen to what I have to say and watch the TV behind me more so than just watching me. I'd like to welcome you all to my channel. I haven't done one of these in a while. I used to do a lot of these types of videos where I would sit down right near or in front of the television set. Nonetheless, what I want to talk to you all about is why I still believe the Sony A95L across the board, not in specific use cases, will still most likely edge out the LG G4. For those of you that are new to my channel, I kindly ask that you subscribe. Please hit the notification bell, get the likes up, and feel free to share my videos. While I'm also talking about this, I do have a membership. I do appreciate your support with that, and it goes right back into the channel. Also, if there are any particular videos that you would like for me to do, please let me know that as well. With that being said, I'm going to have a lot of A95L content on the way. I just been trying to catch up with my S95B content and a few other videos as well. All right. The LG G4 is absolutely amazing as it currently stands. We still have to get the full retail sets. I know a lot of the presentation we've seen in videos from Stop the FOMO and Whisper Status. We had HD TV Test and a few others in the industry have been very promising. It does look great. It does look like an improvement. And I will say, for those of you that have been waiting to jump in and make that step with a newer evolution of LG's television sets, the G4 is most likely going to be it. You also will see an improvement with the C4 as well. I believe it's going to be a winner in the smaller sizes, like in the 42-inch and 48-inch. I really do see that still as a win in that category because you can't obviously get a G4 and there's no MLA at this time in that size. With this conversation being said, I can go get a G4 right now. Literally, right now as I'm filming this particular video. But I am most likely going to stick with this A95L. And let me just get this out of the way. There are no such things as perfect television sets. I don't care how good it looks. I don't care what it offers you. There's no TV that's perfect. I can find flaws in it. Other people can find flaws. All television sets have flaws in it. Okay, let's just keep it 100 and let's not sugarcoat anything, right? So the A95 behind me, the A95L, has flaws. I don't care if it's the G4, it's going to have flaws. I don't care if it's the S90C, S95D, whatever letter you want to put behind it, 90, whatever letter again and number you want to put behind it, all of them are going to have flaws. Every single television brand. With the A95L, it is more of an overall refined package. You're getting the audio, so you can use it as a center channel. It has that connection there. You have the Bravia cam, which, I mean, it's up to you if you want to use, but it is helpful, especially if you have children around. It does make a big difference with the proximity alerts and several other things. It is a convenient feature and a refined feature. It's just an overall refined package, and it fits pretty much all use cases. Obviously, it doesn't have 4 HDMI 2.1 ports, but it does have the 2. You can get an adapter if you choose, or maybe you use a receiver with your sound system, so you have other HDMI 2.1 ports. I get it. It's not the hardcore gaming TV, and that's where I believe the LG G4 is going to win. If you need a sole TV, you have a PC, especially you need 144 hertz gaming, you have an Xbox, a PlayStation, and whatever else you decide to attach to your television set, I believe it's going to be a winner there, right? The gaming, hands down, is definitely going to take the category and probably will be the best television set this year, unless we see what Sony may have to offer. That could rival what I'm saying now, but just as it currently stands. Overall, I just believe Sony provides more of a refined cinematic picture, where LG gives you a refined, natural looking picture. So that's a personal preference. Obviously, if you spend more time watching movies, if you spend more time perhaps watching older movies, you're going to get that cinematic look to it versus LG give you more of the authentic, natural look. Neither is wrong. It's a personal preference. Many people, though, have been accustomed to Sony's look. So when it comes to that, Sony's refinement with the sound, we have yet to test the sound on the G4. I know everyone's seen the picture, but Sony, we already know how the A95L sounds. Like, hands down, is pretty much it, especially in the smaller sizes. We could say from 77 on down to 55 inch. It's got the sound department down. And the fact that you can also use it as a center channel also has LG and it has Samsung Beat. So for me, most likely, I'm probably going to stick with the A95L. And obviously, in measurements and in real content, the brightness difference is, I mean, they trade blows depending on what you watch. Maybe one is better than the other. Maybe you watch hockey and a lot of snow scenes. So obviously, the G4 will excel there. It's just that WRGB OLED advantage. However, the A95L is a QD OLED and it has the color advantage. There's just that color gamut is insane. Once you get used to it, it's kind of hard to see anything else or go with anything else, no matter how good it looks. And hey, I game as often as I get a chance to on an LG C2. I game on WRGB OLEDs, and I have two QD OLEDs in the house. Have one by Samsung, which many of you know, the S95B, and then I have the A95L here. And it's just something about that extra color pop, and then you get the Sony processing. It's great. The other elephant in the room is going to be motion. Obviously, Sony does have some issues when it comes to horizontal panning shots. Perhaps it could be vertical panning shots too at an angle. This is far few in between. It's not something that you're going to really watch and be like, oh, this sucks, this sucks. There's things to mitigate that. It's not as bad as people make it seem. Again, there's flaws in every television set. The G4 has cinematic movement, which actually has been out before. This is not the first year that it's out. It's just refined now with the A11 processor. It's going to be excellent in a lot of categories. It's going to check a lot of boxes. I hear a lot of you say, hey, the price is insane. And I know many of you are just going to say, well, let me just get that mini LED or what have you. Let me get that TCL. Let me get that QM8 or what have you. Even the 2023 models. Forget the 2024 models. This is what I hear many of you say, and they're on sale right now. I'll get a Best Buy video out for you all shortly. I did film one. Again, I'm just playing catch up with content. I just wanted to get this video. I think the G4 is excellent. I still say as it is, as Sony presents, I just think it's a tad bit more refinement on the cinematic front. And that includes gaming. That includes everything, like TV watching, movie watching, just that overall cinematic feel that you get. It gives you that closer feel to the movies, whereas to me, the G4 gives you that as is natural presentation. So personal preferences, both are titans, both are excellence. Obviously, we're going to see videos and content and see them in a shootout. There's going to be one pretty much any day now, and then that's a mini shootout. It's not an official shootout, but it will be a comparison rather at Value Electronics. And then we'll also see one hopefully during the summer, the official one where the sets are calibrated, etc., etc. Let me just say this. The A95L is the first television set that I have not touched any picture settings yet with. I have been breaking the TV in before I actually calibrate it. I have not changed one picture setting with gaming, with TV watching, with movie watching, whatever I throw at it. The only setting I have turned off was the power saving. That is it. I have not changed anything. I'm not using the Bravia cam. The camera is closed. And that's just a testament to how great this A95L is. If I had to leave it as is, although I know I could turn reality creation on and live color and I could do so many things, I'm happy the way that it is. And this is the first television that actually has checked those boxes as is. And that says a lot, because I'm always one to tinker and change things as an enthusiast calibrator. So I just want you all to understand the sound is refined. It has my sound system. I have the Nakamichi sound system. I don't have the Dragon. I've got the Shockwave. So, you know, I'm not on that tip as far as that type of system. It sounds great. It has enhanced the sound quality versus the S95B that I previously had hooked up to it. So it's just that overall total refinement. You have the remote as well that has the backlight on it. Sony knocked it out of the park with that. Battery life seems excellent with it so far. You also have the ability to locate the remote with a sound alert and so many other things. It's just an overall refined package. If that's what you're looking for, it's great. If you primarily game, I'm a hardcore gamer. I've been in gaming competitions. I've been gaming since a little child. I've gamed on every pretty system that is out there. PC, Atari, Coleco, 2600s, the Neo Geo. I've gamed on everything. I've owned just about everything. The Panasonic 3DO. No one talks about the Panasonic 3DO. I've had all of these systems. TurboGrafx 16. I've had it. I've gamed on it. I've seen it. I've spent countless hours on it. I still have older systems that I game on as well. People don't game on the Wii anymore. I have the Wii. I have the Wii U. With Nintendo, I've got all types of the Nintendo 64, the GameCubes. I got all of these systems. The old school Nintendo, SNES, right? Super Nintendo, the NES, like all of them. So I've been gaming a long time, and this is the first TV that just checks all of those boxes in terms of the refinement, and you don't feel the desire of wanting more. It gives you the brightness regardless of what measurements say. In the real world, Sony just puts the brightness right where it counts, and I believe it's still going to be a close call despite the G4 and the A11 processor. Again, the G4 is excellent. If that's what you want to stick with LG, hey, run it. I just believe that overall the A95L in all categories, not just picture, right? Because most people just get focused on the image. What about sound? You may not be able to hook up a sound bar or receiver system to your television set. This is where the A95L is going to shine, right? It's just going to shine. And again, what you're viewing is as is out of the box. By the way, this is Jennifer Gala's content. Thank you once again, Jennifer, for allowing me to use your content. Please go subscribe to her. I'll go ahead and put a image on the screen so that you can see what her channel looks like. She has two channels, Jennifer Gala and the HDR Super channel. So I'll put those on the screen so you can see what I'm talking about. But I just wanted to talk to you all about it. I know everyone's going G4, G4, G4 is out. I'm going to tell you something else. Let me slide this in very quickly. The S95D is going to sell like crazy because I'm going to put out a video and I want you all to see the difference. I know everyone's talking about a glossy screen, the contrast is better. I get it. If you're in a light controlled environment, if you're in a theater environment, obviously that's the truth. However, there are a lot of people, a lot of consumers that don't have a light controlled environment, or they're only able to control it so much, or they watch their content primarily during the day. They have a lot of windows and there's only so much they can do and they get a lot of glare on the screen. This is where the S95D is going to kick the living daylights out of the A95L, out of the G4 and every other TV out there, because you're going to get a far better image if that's where you spend your time watching the television set, right? In that environment, in that use case, than all of these other TVs out here. That's where it's going to be a winner. I've talked about it. Other people have talked about it. My fellow content creators have talked about it. So again, I'm saying this to let you all know that it depends on what you want. Again, the A95L, Sony always has and always will give you that cinematic look. We use Sony for our cameras to record the content. I'm recording on a Sony camera right now. I mean, it is what it is, right? So, hey, I wanted to just make this video. Again, I own all three brands, so this is no Sony, LG, Samsung. As far as the big three, I've had TCL, Hisense. I've had a lot of brands. So this is no bashing. And I currently still game on my LG C2, possibly looking to replace it with the LG C4. Depending on how it looks, I may actually swap it out. So we'll see. But nonetheless, I just wanted to make this video so that if you're on the fence about the A95L and the G4, I really think if you want that cinematic look, you should still get the A95L. And it's a reason why Sony is not coming out with another successor to the A95L in 2024, right? That'll most likely be next year in 2025. There's a reason for it, and it's because it's that good. It's the reason why I won the shootout. I was there at the shootout. I streamed live. You saw me on the footage with FOMO. I carried the Hisense portion of the live stream, the Hisense UX. I was literally one of the first people to see it. So anyway, I just wanted to have this conversation with you all if you're on the fence and let you all know where I'm standing. I literally could today, right now while I'm filming, go get the G4. I mean, if I can get my hands on the G4, you know what I mean? And I'm pretty sure I can get my hands on it. But I'm just letting you all know I'm most likely not going to get the G4. Not for focusing on that cinematic movie watching, TV show watching experience. I have the Samsungs and the LG for gaming. So again, I'm going to say the G4 is going to win there. But if you are focusing on that cinematic experience, I still think Sony has it. Even with the cinematic movement with the G4 and whatever other 2024 LG models that they may put that on. And that feature has been available obviously as well. Previously, as I mentioned, it's not just a new thing. We just have the A11 processor to allow it to do new things. I don't go switching out my motion settings. I don't generally switch any settings when I'm watching content. I'm like a set it and forget it. And that's also the advantage you get with calibration. I just set things up, and generally once it's set up, I don't change it. It's rare that I'm going to change the motion settings. I know FOMO talked about that when in comparison on how the G4 is going to beat the A95L. I don't do that. I would like to find out in the comment section if you're the type of consumer or enthusiast that switches your picture modes every time you watch content. I set it once it's good, no matter what I'm watching, unless I need to record something or some specific situation, maybe that I have to duplicate, again, aka record. I don't change the motion settings. No one in my house does it. We haven't done it in the past. Once we tweak it, we just leave it. And I'm sure there's a lot of you out there like that. So I would like to know, I'm saying this because in that situation, the cinematic movement may not matter to you. I mean, I think it's a great thing that LG's doing, and it's going to be something that will allow the other TV brands to implement their version of that in the future. I think it's great. Perhaps Sony could issue some type of firmware update that will allow us more freedom with adjusting that on the A95L and perhaps some other Sony TV brands. We don't know what Sony truly has in store and what they're cooking, so we'll find out. But as it stands, I'm sticking with the A95L for now. From what I've seen in measurements, real world, full screen, I just, with QD OLED and that color gamut, it just hits you in a way that I don't get that same impact with LG. So let me know what you think. I'm going to do some live streams to answer a lot of your tech questions. I get a lot of tech questions, and I want to help you all enjoy whatever TV or TVs that you do have as best as I can. I may not be able to answer everything, but I can at least point you in the right direction. I'm extremely knowledgeable when it comes to all of these sets, and I pretty much know what's what. I've been around for a long time. I'm an OG in the game. Might be new in terms of social media presence, but I've been around for a long time. So with that said, hope you enjoy your day, your morning, your night, whatever it is around your neck of the woods. I have people globally that watch me. Once again, thank you for your support. Please like, comment, and subscribe if you haven't done so. And as I always say, until we stream again.